Hello, good afternoon. September 11th, 2021. Ah, well, we all know what we're seeing all over social media and television today. A 20-year reminder of where it all started to fruition. You know, the little bit of the more obvious loss of our freedoms. Um, because of the use of that day. Uh, what was it for me 20 years ago? Um, it was a shocker. I was teaching. I saw the second plane come in live. At that point, I knew it wasn't an accident. But it wasn't till years later when I actually sat down in front of a desktop computer and played the towers coming down, the first one and the second one, and even building 7. But those two mainly, the towers, over and over again. But this time, I turned, excuse me, I turned off the volume so that I wouldn't be influenced by the commentary that was going on. And I watched it over and over again. And I remembered physics and science and realized that I had forgotten something very important. See, my minor is in philosophy, my major is English literature. Philosophy taught me more than anything. I took a class every semester just so I would go to school, but I knew the major was useless unless I was going to go get my PhD, which surprisingly, colleges with a PhD in philosophy are pretty limited. Most of it, people you look at it as a useless major, but it's very misunderstood. Very misunderstood. It's where you go to learn about different beliefs of all kinds in different cultures across the world, which I don't think there's anything better for tolerance and understanding the good and the bad. And philosophy is a place where you go to learn about logic and ethics. And logic is extremely important and something people don't understand. And it's the language principle of like mathematics, where language has to be firm and very carefully used in order to communicate what you actually mean. And when people don't understand that language can be used to manipulate, and if you don't have a good grasp of the meaning of words and your vocabulary is extremely limited, then you can be easily manipulated. And that's what's going on today. And that's what's been going on for a very, very long time. So my insignificant majors, or what seem to be insignificant majors, English and philosophy, have equipped me quite well to have a better understanding of what's being done. And it's quite frustrating when I can't communicate that to others. But it is what it is. And I have to remember what I told my students a long time ago, that it doesn't matter what others say. What matters is that you know and believe in your heart that you're a good person and that you're in the right. That's what matters. So, I'm going to share with you something that we used to discuss in philosophy. I think it's some topic we came up with actually on our own in a way, because our labeling wasn't really in a book anywhere. We discussed with one of our professors the idea of a small r reality and a capital R reality. That we live in a small r reality because of our five senses and our limitations because of the bodies that we walk around in, that we cannot see, hear, taste, touch, or smell everything in existence. And that's true. And it's not until we invent certain electronic devices or computer systems, etc., that we're able to see that there are sounds that are lower than we can hear, higher than we can hear, a light spectrum that we can't see, smells we can't smell, etc. So there is a larger reality that we do not quite understand, big R, capital R. And it's those of us who understand that are always trying to search for that big R reality. Today, most people use, like they're searching for truth. What is truth? I think that's kind of been manipulated and misused and used for personal gain for some people, whether it be in a religious context, a scientific context, whatever it may be. It's been used and manipulated. Other people are really, truly, wholeheartedly trying to figure things out and trying to share their ideas and maybe help other people. If we all put pieces of the puzzle out there, we can maybe put a picture together on what's actually going on. Genuine people. So what we're struggling here with is that, like, years ago, me sitting down finally, maybe 4, 5, 6 years after 2001, and sitting there watching the buildings come down and realizing that the big T was not what I thought it was. The big R was not what I thought it was. That I had been sold a bill of goods because I was manipulated through language instead of believing it, instead of looking within myself to what I actually know to be true. So, and most people do that because it's what's comfortable, and who wants to believe that people are lying to you? Nobody wants to believe that. Nobody wants to believe that at all. We want to believe that people have our best interest at heart and that they want what's best for the majority or all or whatever. And unfortunately, we're finding out very slowly, somewhat too slowly, that that's not the case. So I will continue to be grateful for the small R that I live in, but always know that I'm trying to reach for that capital R of reality, to understand the big picture and understand that I'm not always right. But certainly those with titles and letters in front of their names or behind their names aren't right either. And morality is a huge part of this, and we're lacking morality. And when you lack morality, you lack a big part of the big R reality and the big T of truth. Because we didn't just magically get here. So that's my perspective. Be very careful of the language people use and the manipulation behind it. Understand that two very important words in the last 2 years have been changed. The definitions: pandemic and vaccine. The only reason that you would change a definition is to fit whatever it is that you're trying to do, which is a no-no in English literature, which is a real no-no. A definition should be pretty precise. You might have 3 choices, but those are your 3 choices. You don't change the definition completely. And it also has to do with the context of the sentence that you're using it in, the word. So just be very careful. Get out a dictionary and use it. But also be very careful as to, it should be against the law, actually, to change definitions of words, especially things that are so critical to what's going on today. And the only reason to do it would be nefarious. So it's the only reason. And that's my professional opinion as a former English teacher and someone with their master's in education. Yeah, that's my professional opinion. And you can control some of the smartest people in the world with words and propaganda. And that's what's happening. The most elect will be deceived. Have a great day. Bye for now.